Are we back online? Yeah, but we apologize for the feed. It's the computer. We are right. We're going to we got a new computer on the way, so that should alleviate the feed going down. Our computer, our laptop is old. Yeah, Apple products. Tucked in the corner. Give me one sec. Read it.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 29, verse 7.
Right.
Many therefore have refused to lend for other
Right.
man's ill dealing.
Right. Because, oh yeah, I'll pay you back tomorrow. You don't get that payment,
Right.
people ain't gonna lend. People are gonna be scared to lend. The whole point wasn't to see a person needing or a person coming and asking that they needed to borrow to get on their feet. They vow that they're gonna pay you back, then they don't, right? Because what's that gonna do for their psyche?
They won't do it. Spirit.
After a while, they're gonna stop lending.
Yeah.
Don't the banks do that? Like you go in there like, yeah, let me get this $500 credit card. You blow through it, you don't pay it back. They're like, next credit card, you apply, rejected. Sorry, we can't finance you at this time. Upon review, nigga, you're not a person of your word. That's all. That they might as well just say that. You don't keep your word. Right? So you go and you apply for your little credit, they're looking at all your other credit to see how did you do with that? Did you keep your obligation? We weren't supposed to deal with each other like that. We were supposed to be willing to help one another, and the person that was being helped was supposed to understand that I'm being helped. Let me do my best to repay that help. Now, circumstances do happen, right? But then that's where you get the other family members involved, and you could be redeemed by this person or that person, right? But still, the point was, and then the person that lent, after a while, you weren't supposed to hang that debt over a person.
Right.
Because of the year of release, the year of Jubilee, right? So, you know, it was to diminish the anger. Think about it. You got family members still at war from the 70s over the $5 that he lent him.
Last $5.
That was my last $5. You know what I'm saying? You lent me a shirt, and you never gave it back. You let me borrow. You know what I'm saying? You let me borrow this, and you never repaid it, or you let me borrow the radio and you broke it. Just a bunch of dumb foolishness that keeps negative surrounding us. So the Most High was giving us a way to help each other and not be taken advantage of.
Understand.
Because, I mean, come on. Israel, man, when you look at there's some shysters. Israel, bro. Not all, but Israel is shysty as hell. There's some swindlers and deceptive. You know what I'm saying? And they'll say one thing for their in the moment for their gain. Right? They'll take. But then when it's time to repay, it's like, what's Israel's favorite line? When they always gonna pay you back? When?
Income tax.
Oh, I'll pay you back when I give my taxes.
Yeah.
Well, we just did taxes.
Yeah.
So I gotta wait a whole year for you to pay me back? On your taxes? We be counting on that money so hard. But then you owe the IRS, so you owe the IRS, you owe child support, you ain't getting tax money. But Israel cap all the way. They come back like, oh man, the IRS, they took my money, and that child support was hidden, and my baby mama, and all these damn excuses.
Right. You won't believe what happened.
And
your shoes on.
guess what? Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole year buying brand new kicks. Whole year, different vehicles, changing them. The whole year. Frivolous things, new phone. Like, damn, you got that new phone. Yep. They floss it right on you, right? They got the new phone, they got this, but they owe you.
Yeah, you still with the 7?
Yeah, you still struggling with your old broken, cracked phone, right? Cracked screen, can't
That's how it
hear
is.
calls, can't take no photos of your family.
Yeah.
They run around with the new phone,
Right, everything new.
right? So the Most High was, read it again.
Many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealings.
But you know the funny thing, I don't let others' ill dealings stop me from doing the right thing. Listen, the whole point is, bless them that curse you, pray for them that despitefully use you. My thing is this, if you ask me for something and I have it, I'll give it to you. If it's under the pretense of borrowing or keeping, just be honest.
Right, keep your word.
Right?
Say you're gonna do.
If you're doing a loan or whatever the case may be, then that's what I'm gonna. That's the pretense I'm going off of. That this is a loan, so I'm expecting to get it back at some point.
Right.
If you ask like, hey, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to pay it back. If I got it, boom, right?
Mm-hmm.
But don't say one thing and then do the other.
Don't be shiesty.
Don't be deceptive, because what's gonna happen is that's gonna come down on you, not me. Right? I'll get that back. I'll get it back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it back somehow, some way. Right? Most High will repay it.
Yes, he will.
But what's he gonna do to the person that vows and doesn't keep their vow? He said he destroys the works of their hands. The person that goes under the pretense of, hey, let me borrow. Hey, I need a loan. Hey, I'll get it back. Let me hold this. Let me hold that. I'll get it back to you.
Right.
Right? We can't deal with each other, especially each other, man. We can't deal with each other how we got dealt with in the world and how the world deals.
Mm-hmm.
Just be straight up. Just be straight up. But I don't let Israel and it's childish. I don't let their childishness deter me from doing what's good. When I ain't gonna front. When I let anything, when it's money, listen, man, I already count it as a loss.
I do too.
I already count it. Even if you say you're gonna pay it back, I count it as a loss because anything can happen where I won't get that back. So I count it as a loss in my mind, so that way I don't sit there and be just mad at a person.
Right. That's what I'm all that.
Right? You start dealing with a person the wrong way, because you'll look at a person, they owe you, but then they are getting stuff, and you start getting upset.
Right.
Nah, I can't allow that to happen with myself.
Right.
And we shouldn't let that happen to ourselves either, where people gotta live, right? People gotta live. Like, every time they buy something, it's like, wait a minute, you owe me money. They gotta eat too, right? They gotta eat. They still gotta eat and survive. You checking everything they doing? Well, see, that was right there. You could have paid me back to 10 right there, and that was $10, and that was 15. Like, no. So the year of Jubilee was to release those debts, get that burden off of us, get that contention, that grudging away from us, give a person the opportunity to repay what they said they were going to repay without, think about being hounded for something and having to hound for somebody for something.
Oh man.
Somebody borrows something so long you got to borrow it back.
Right.
Bro, that's yours. That's the way I look at it, man. I'm like, bro, give me another one. My thing is, if you're not prepared to lose it, don't lend it.
That's true. That's true.
If you're not prepared to lose it, don't lend it. If you lend out money and you're not prepared that you probably won't get that back, there's a 50-50 chance. Okay, let me stop. Right? There's a 75%, there's an 80% chance you might not get that back. No, 80% chance you will. 20% chance you won't. I'm gonna give all of us the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give us more of a benefit of a doubt than I would give the world. So there's an 80% chance that you may get that back. 20% you may not.
Thank you.
You better cover for that 80%.
Wow.
That's true.
Read it.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 29, verse 10. Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend,
Right.
and let it not rust under a stone to be lost.
Yeah, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. Right? If you got it, do it. But always have in the back of your mind that loan may not be paid back the way you feel like it should be paid back.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now check this out.
Okay.
Go to where you at? You in Ecclesiasticus?
Yes, sir.
You got to know who you're lending to.
Oh, Con.
12 and 4. You got to know who you're lending to. You got to know who you're lending to, whatever it is, man. Whatever it is. You know, we get this soft spot for family. It's my mama.
Mm-hmm.
But just know, mama ain't in the truth. Mama might not be worried about paying you back
That's true.
when you need that. Right? Daddy ain't in the truth. He might not be trying to pay that back. So you might as well count that as a loss. But for the most part, whenever we deal with each other on that level of borrowing, we always make sure we get it back. You know what I'm saying? We always make sure we get it back because it's about keeping your word.
Right.
Anytime I ever have to borrow money from the school, I got that back, and it was rare. It's really rare, but I have to be in some real bad situation or just not having enough for something. But I always got that back pronto when I said I was. You know what I mean? We got to be in that practice of making sure we repay and not just saying that we're going to. Read.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 4.
Read it, Benaiah.
Ecclesiasticus 12, verse 4. Give to the godly man,
Right?
and help not a sinner.
Yeah, and a lot of times we look at our family like, well, this is my family. But what they need a loan for? How come they need it? What habits they got? You know those people that'll buy weed and borrow money for gas?
Oh, Con. Con.
They'll buy cigarettes, but they gotta borrow money for gas?
Yep.
Man, I gotta borrow, man, you got $30, I need to buy some groceries. Man, you just bought a fresh pack. You just bought a fresh pack of Newports and a bottle of liquor. So they'll feed their vice, they'll feed their negative, but they won't feed their bowels.
Right.
You ain't supposed to lend money to those people.
Right.
Because why did they take the cigarette money and buy food, buy the necessities?
True.
It's a sin to smoke, right?
It is.
It's a sin to be a drunkard. So you gotta look at these people that you're lending to in your family and say, wait a minute, well, what's going on with you? You gotta ask questions. They can't ask you why do you need to borrow the money. They don't need it. That's the way I look at it. If any one of my family called me and asked to borrow money, what you need it for? What's going on with you? What happened? And they give you the story. Oh, okay. And in some cases, you might have a little bit of compassion, but just know, don't expect to get that back. I don't care if it's 10 cents. Their mind ain't gonna be to repay you all the time.
Right.
There's a 20% chance you might as well count that as a loss.
Con.
In the world, it's 50-50. Maybe even 75-25. I'm gonna give them less of the benefit of the doubt. Because the world is about defrauding, man. It's a defrauding spirit.
It is.
It's a deceitful spirit out there. Go ahead, read it.
Verse 5. Do well unto him that is low,
Yep.
but give not to the ungodly.
Yep.
Hold back thy bread.
Do what?
Hold back thy
See, the
bread.
Bible said loose your bread for your brother. But he said not to the ungodly brother. Read.
And give it not unto him.
Like I know my families, I know their vices. If I got brothers and sisters, if my younger bros call me for money, I'm like, hell nah, you good. Because they got weed habits. High weed and alcohol habits. Like, nope. I'm not doing that because I know what you want.
Con.
I know what you want. Go ahead.
Lest he overmaster thee
Right.
thereby.
Read.
For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil.
What, y'all should what?
Ooh.
You ever lend money to that person that you knew you shouldn't have lent it to and it just turned into an evil situation? You just trying to recollect that money?
Yep.
Turned into them like blaming you for something or getting on you?
You're for asking for your money.
Or you fall into decay because you lent to the How you gonna lend somebody to something and then you go broke?
Con.
What sense does that make? Go ahead.
For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him.
Right?
Verse 6. For the Most High hated sinners.
He what?
For the Most High hated sinners.
Yeah, and he hates people that cater to sinners. That help to fund a sinner's life. Right? That's why I like homeless people. I'm telling you, I don't give them money. I'll try to keep bottles of water in my car. And if I pull up to the median and he's there, I hand a bottle of water. Or if I got food or something, I hand the food. But you're not getting no money. Obviously, you're in that situation because you don't know how to deal with money.
Right.
So whether it be a little or a lot, you don't know how to deal with it. But if you're homeless enough, you're going to drink that water. That warm bottle of water that's been sitting in my car for a week. You're going to drink that, right? You're going to eat that food.
That's right.
And I see a lot of people do that. They'll hand water, they'll hand food, right? Because you don't know what these people are about to do with the money that you give them.
Right.
They got their little sign talking about just hungry.
Right.
But then as soon as they get enough money, part of that goes to whatever vice they're dealing with, whether it be alcohol, whether it be drugs, right?
True.
I mean, let's be real. The homeless community, we know, is laden with drugs and alcohol abuse. So why would I add to that?
Yeah, man, in Israel, they ridiculous, man. Over there where I stay, they just, man, be coming over there with packets of chicken and meat they just stole out for yesterday. Trying to sell it. And I said, man, I don't need, I'm good. I need because I know what they want it for.
Yeah, they
I
trying
don't
to
never
the
buy
boosters, man. They trying to get that re-up.
I ain't buying nothing from them. I don't
Right.
need, I'm good. I don't know what that meat been doing. Even if I did get on like that, I don't know what it's been.
That's true.
Like you like Old Dog and Menace just walking around. You like the crackheaded Menace just walking around with cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers been in that bag for like 18 hours, bro. Cheeseburger, the bag just greasy.
Yeah.
The cheese ain't melted. The butter's soggy.
Yeah.
The tomatoes done made the bread wet. Nobody want them burgers. You shot the crackhead and say, "Hey, who wants some burgers?" Hell nah, we all on that meat been out that freezer. You running around with meat in Houston with no ice on it? You just,
Terrible.
bruh.
Oh boy.
This tells you, bro. Drugs, man. Go ahead, read on.
And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly,
Read.
and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment.
Right. So if the ungodly is going to be punished, the ones that help them is going to be. You're going to feel some of that hit right along with them.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Give unto the good,
Right.
and help not the sinner.
Go ahead.
A friend cannot be known in prosperity.
Right, that's it on that. So, y'all understand, I mean, we were always supposed to help one another, but we weren't supposed to take that help and disadvantage the person that was helping you. That you would stop a person from wanting to give. That's why a lot of Israel is just hurt and jaded now, and they're like, oh, hell no. As soon as that collection plate come around, they just start getting PTSD. All right, it's just like, damn, what happened? You get PTSD because you remember when you gave and you stayed broke the whole time, but you was giving. Like, damn, I went to work this whole time giving, but I'm broke. And the church is just expanding, and you just catching flashbacks of, oh, jeez, remember when I was going through these hard times? Oh my God, remember? No food. Oh, I remember, my lights went out. Oh, I remember my car note couldn't get it. And you going through all this PTSD.
Pastor guys,
You go through all the post-traumatic stress syndromes of giving and extending yourself. And then when we ask, all the PTSD kicks back up again. I get it. That's why we don't like to ask. Because we know what's been happening to our people in church and whatever they think about it, man. There's so many scammers out there. There's so many people scamming. Oh, let me let y'all know. The new one that they're doing, if you got Facebook, these Hamites are grabbing Israelite profiles. Then they'll message you and say, hey, shalom, Ak.
Right.
They'll even salute. Then they'll ask you to send them money. or they'll ask you to cash checks. They try to hit me, they try to hit Shatak, and I'm talking about they're using brothers' profile pictures.
Right.
So anybody in Facebook land, if you ever see my profile asking for money, it ain't me. The scriptures say, freely give, freely receive. You don't charge for the truth.
Right.
Buy the truth and sell it not. Right? So if I'm ever asking for money on Facebook, no, it's not me. Because I would never ask for money on Facebook. You would know if it was me asking for money because it wouldn't be me. It would be something school related. Right? So you got to make sure you check. But they're hacking in people's profiles. Israelite brothers, Israelite cats, elders. They caught Karash. He's an elder, brother from old school. They caught his profile, and he tried to hit Shatak up. Shalom, y'all about like saluting and everything, right? But when you see Shalom, SHALOM, just know that ain't us. That's somebody that doesn't know Hebrew, right? So you can look at like little telltales. But they start pressuring you for that money on Instagram. Hey, let me give you a phone call. Let me see what's up with you. Nah, my phone don't work. Oh, really? That's why I need the money, because my phone don't work. You just know. Stay away from that, because that's the new little scam. They've been running that one for a while.
But that scam that came on me about 6-7 months ago.
But
a good friend of mine came across there trying to turn me on to some place that was giving money away.
Oh, snap. Matter of fact, they used your profile once.
Yeah, that's right.
Because your profile was hitting me up.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
I just talked to you like 5 minutes ago on the phone. Why are you hitting me with this nonsense? Yeah. They'll go through your messenger. That's why I'm about to shut messenger off.
That's what they did.
Yeah, they use his profile. I'm pretty sure they got my I don't know.
That's terrible.
But if you ever see my profile hitting you up talking about money, or talking about hit this link and then you send 200 and we'll send you 1,400. No, that ain't me.
You called for that one. You must have a stupid side.
First of all, I ain't got time for that. I don't got that much money anyway. Second of all, I ain't got time for that.
Man.
But that's what they're using Israelites.
Yes.
They're using Israelites. And they'll have people go on the post and comment like, "Oh yeah, it worked for me."
Yeah.
They'll have people pushing that.
Yes.
And it's, I mean, no offense, it's a lot of these Nigerians, man.
Yeah.
They are gang. Somebody hacked into my email, and when I saw where it was from, it was an iPhone from Nigeria, because it tells you when you get into the email who's been logged in. Yeah, he hacked my email, then he went into my Coinbase, stole my coins. So I had a whole issue with Coinbase. He took all my Bitcoin, all my Shiba, all my Dogecoin. Damn. I had a lot of money in there. Yeah, but he was able to hack my email, change my passwords. So I had this whole thing with Coinbase. I still can't go on Coinbase to buy nothing, buy coins, because my identity has been compromised.
I was trying to get into a part-time job, and somebody so-called hired me, right? They send a check.
Yeah.
Through the mail, right?
And go cash this and send
right,
it.
Cash it and send that. This part is yours. That part you send cash and then you get started on the job.
Yep.
Right?
Hell no.
Man, I took that check to the police, man.
Yeah. All you gotta do is call the company on the check and they'll verify that it's fake. They try to do it to Shatat.
Damn.
They tried to do it to Shatat. He thought he was helping the bro, but then he was smart enough to call the person that issued the issuer of the check, and they said, that's not our check. Yeah, we were just talking about that 2 nights ago. So think about all the things that's happening. It's gonna put everybody on edge.
Right.
So now anybody that mentions money on Facebook, I'm deleting. I'm good.
I don't have no Facebook.
I'm good.
Have you had these just popping up? Everybody talking about send you a friend request you never saw, never heard.
Yeah.
Just steady sending friend requests. Young ladies I never saw.
Here's another one. Here's another one that happens. I'm gonna show y'all something. I don't know if it's just me. I know Shatak been getting them, and I don't know if my number got sold. Let me see if I can find one. I usually just delete them, but you'll get some random message like, "Hey, Miles, are you going to Juan's party with me tonight?"
What the hell?
Are you like, "I ain't Miles, and this some weird ass number." You like, wrong number. "Oh, I'm sorry. Hope I didn't disturb you." You didn't. Wrong number. "Oh, well, you sound nice.
Oh, yeah.
Let me introduce myself." And then, "I'm such and such from the Philippines." And it's like, block. But I've been getting those. I get like one of those maybe every other day. Here's one.
What's on email?
Somebody hit me with this. Somebody put me in some mass text with a 340.
Mm-hmm.
This, yeah, like nice painting. Now she needs her floor, and they just sent a picture of somebody's dirty countertops. I'm trying to find the ones that I deleted, but I just delete them now. I just
I get some across my all the time. I get them across my text talking about you got unclaimed money that was kept from you from years ago.
that might be right.
You need to.
That might be true. Hey,
But I'm not gonna open it.
no. Don't open it.
Real,
What you do? You just go to the government websites, put your name in.
Right.
Because I did that the other day and I got $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like tax money from Colorado.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Hi. Somebody just texted me. Hi. I'm like, huh? I'm like, shalom. 'Cause I don't know.
Wow.
I'm Anna. Are you David? I'm not David. You have the wrong number. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm accidentally entered the wrong number. I hope I didn't bother you. Nope. You're good. Have a nice day. You're a kind person. I think our connection is due to fate. Can we become friends on Facebook?
Wow.
So I didn't delete it, but guess what? Delete and block. I get those like 4 a day.
That's terrible.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? But you know, when you're applying for like credit cards and this and that, and your number is being blasted through the airwaves,
Right.
people gonna grab it and just hit you up for random scam stuff. People getting scammed left and right. Out there, they getting scammed out their draws.
Sure is.
You got men thirsty, giving up their whole life savings. Got these women, got them in these other countries, got them investing in Bitcoin and all these things, and then they wipe the account. He left his whole savings gone. Right? Me, I ain't got no savings for you to take, sis. So all you gonna get is a few scriptures. Get you your spirit checked. You know what I'm saying? You might learn who you are. Other than that, I got nothing for you. I'm broke. Right? I'm broke. I ain't got nothing for you but a good word.
Absolutely.
What's that?
When you get those text messages and stuff like that, I heard that if you open them, it's a way that they can access a lot of your information on your
Right.
phone.
That's why I don't.
So don't open them.
Really?
That's why I don't.
Don't open them.
Just delete.
That's why I don't open. Thank you, sister. That's why I don't open them.
Yeah, don't open them.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like
gonna start
once
doing
you
that.
open them, you start interacting with them. It's a way. It's so weird, but it's a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably ping you.
Access everything on your phone, and
Right.
mostly everything is on our phone. But it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
way they do it. You know?
My whole carnal life is on this phone. But so what? Like, my thing is, ain't nothing to take. You can have my little whack credit score, right? You could use my credit. All I do is say, hey, that wasn't me. You can take the money. I can just say, hey, I called the bank. Hey, that wasn't me. Like, what can you really get that's really that important that I can't fix?
Right.
That's the way I look at it. Yeah, it's a hassle, but I mean, like, you got people that talk about, like the government's listening and all that stuff, and they turn off this and turn off that. Once you have this, they got you. It's a wrap. Once you got one of those, they got you. Once you got anything that connects to the internet, it's over. Unless you're an analog person, once it connects and there's a paper trail or a digital trail, it can't be erased. So, like I said, the little Filipino chick, Anna from the Philippines, you know what I'm saying, wants to tap into that bank account, she's going to be highly disappointed. Because as soon as she taps in, the bank account name is broke. I called it broke. You know how you can put a nickname on your bank account? I titled it broke. Anyway.
She's gonna text you back like every
Like
minute.
that, like that. Yeah, she gonna try to send me some money.
You good?
She gonna look at trying to send me some money. Hell yeah, some of the Filipino dollars. Right? She gonna try to get me to the Philippines for a better life, cause broke. Let's go. Let's jump back.
Another thing they doing too, you gotta watch in some of these filling stations, man. You
In some of the
stick
what?
your car, when you go stick your car in there, some of them guns, They go in there and fix those machines. They
Yeah.
setting up where they could get your account number.
They got the readers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to go get gas. I went to go get gas the other day, and it blocked my card from getting the gas. And I didn't even use my card. I used the phone to scan, and it was like the bank stopped it and said it was it fraud. And I don't know if I was doing too many transactions that day or what. But I mean, even that fraud alert. The bank hit me. They texted me. They were like, "If this is you, say yes. If it's not, say no," and it'll shut the card down. I looked. By the time I saw it, I was like, "Oh yeah, it's me." And they pull up all your transactions, like verify all these, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're all mine."
That,
Right?
I'll say that happened to me on my credit cards. I saw some charges on it, and I was like, "What in the hell was that?" So I blocked my. You know, you turn off your card.
Yeah.
Man, I had all kind of like things like dollar here, dollar here, dollar here, dollar here. I was like, "What in the hell?"
Verifications.
Said, yeah, and I was like,
Yeah.
Now I just cut it off. Every time I use it, I turn it on, and as soon as I get done with it, I turn it right back off.
Yeah. Even if you when you go get gas now, they authorize your car for like $100.
Mm-hmm.
They pre-authorize you for $100 because gas is so expensive. The other day we was getting gas for the truck, and Kazak hits me like, "Somebody's trying to use $500 on the card." I'm like, "Huh?" They were trying to get gas on the truck. They pre-authorize it for $500 because it costs so much to fill that truck up. It costs $200 to fill it up, so they pre-authorize it for $500. Right? I went in, I looked at my thing, pre-authorization for $100 to fill up my car. Like when I stick it in there. So if you ain't got that, they'll cut your card off at like 70.
Yeah.
So you can't fill all the way up or whatever the case may be. But just, if you see those, like if you happen to go get gas that day and you look and it's like, "What's this $100 pre-off?"
Yep.
Well, that's what they're doing with the gas stations now. They're pre-authorization for at least $100. So, yeah, I have taken care of elderly women giving money to men. I have taken care of elderly women giving money to men they thought they loved and never met in person who they thought were celebrities. Yeah. Again, you got all these scams, catfishing. People online, send me money, here's my Cash App, blah, 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 blah. We gonna meet up, we gonna this, we gonna that. Dudes be falling for it because they thirsty.
Yep.
They thirsty as hell. And women fall for it too. The ones that are insecure, the ones that don't have no confidence, they fall for it. Thinking like that's some man. Thinking that he's Rick Fox or something.
It's cold.
You know what I'm saying? He does a Sly Fox. Right? Anyway, let's jump back. The bottom line is we're supposed to deal with each other like that. We're supposed to be honest, keep our vows. You never know. You might fall into that decay and need that help. So we were supposed to be able to be there for each other to help each other up.
Right.
Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 16, last precept. For according to the number of the years of the fruits do he sell unto thee.
Right. Where you at?
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 16.
Right, go
Well,
ahead.
17 now.
Go ahead.
Ye shall not therefore oppress one another.
Right, because that's the point. We weren't supposed to take from each other to the point where we couldn't get back up off our feet. Go ahead.
For thou shalt fear thy God. For I am the Most High, your power. Wherefore ye shall do my statutes, and keep my judgments, and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land in safety. And the land shall yield her fruit, and ye shall eat your field, and dwell therein in safety. And if ye shall say, what shall we eat the seventh year?
Right? If you get nervous, if you get faithless, if you forgot who got your back, here's the reminder. Go ahead.
So we shall not sow, nor gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year. It shall bring forth fruit for 3 years.
See that? So in the 6th year, you got 3 years worth. 6th, 7th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Because through that process of time and letting things regrow, it will be until the 9th year where you'd actually be able to be able to grow new crop. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year. Until her fruits come in, ye shall eat of the old store.
Right. So in the end of the 9th year is when you would reap that 9th year harvest. Make sense?
Right.
Come. Go ahead.
The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine. For ye are strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession, ye shall grant a redemption for the land.
Right. So remember last night we were talking about the 5 daughters that wanted to get possession. Now we were talking about basically the Most High set it up to where the women, if the man had no sons, his daughters can get that possession, right? Now, if it did happen that that land was translated to another tribe, this was part of the release, that in the year of Jubilee, it would go back to the original tribe. You see that? So that was another thing also. But if you had all that time going and that land was just being moved around, somebody was gonna suffer, somebody was gonna get upset. But that land did go back to those original, that lot went back to the original owner. Go ahead.
Verse 25. If thy brother be waxing poor, and has sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which is his brother sold. And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof.
Right, so you count for how many, you count the years. So I bought it in the 5th year. So there's 45 years left to the next Jubilee. That's how you would calculate the debt. Right? Remember, according to the number, the lot of years or the least amount of years, but you would calculate it. So if we had 45 years, it'd be a higher price. If we had 5 years, it'd be a lower price. Go ahead.
Verse 27, second precept. And restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it.
Right, go ahead. Because again, when you're calculating the years of the Jubilee and you bought or sold something according to those years, there might be some extra. You might pay a little extra for that debt, but then you will restore that. Go ahead.
That he may return it to his possession. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that had bought it until the year of Jubilee. And the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return it to his possession. See?
Any questions on that? The year of release. What's that?
What was that script? What was Benaiah in when he was reading? It was like 12.
Ecclesiasticus 12 and 4 down.
That was Ecclesiasticus.
Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha. Yep. 12 and 4.
Oh.
Give to the godly. Yeah, we were in there. We were in Ecclesiasticus
29:7.
29:7.
Okay. That's it.
Benaiah Shabbat Shah Yahawada Anya Shrala
Benaiah Shabbat Shah Yahawada Banya Sha'ala. Imagine. Barak.
Yahawah Shem Yah Shabrak Thumb
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Go ahead. Where we at?
29. Leviticus chapter 25, verse 29.
Right.
And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. Within a full year may he redeem it. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generations. It shall not go out in the Jubilee.
So there were some stipulations where something that you sold of your possessions, you had a time frame to get it back. This is how they do you in pawn shops, right? I haven't been to a pawn shop in a long time, but from what I understand, they give you like a 90-day, you can tell them how long you want to sell something?
Yeah.
Or no, do you want to pawn it
Then come back
or
and redeem it.
sell it, right?
You go, you pawn it, and they give you a certain amount of money, but you have a certain amount of time to come back to redeem it.
Right, but they give you the option, pawn or sell.
Right.
Pawn means I'm gonna come back and get it.
Right.
Sell means I just give me the money and let me go.
Either way, you get got.
Oh yeah, they definitely underprice, they undercut you and everything. But the point, they give you a time frame to come back and be able to pay for that. And while they're doing that, they're hitting you with some crazy interest, monthly payments to hold it.
Yep.
You're basically paying rent for your appliance.
Yep.
You might as well sell it.
Yep.
Because by the time you go back and get that, the price is crazy. You might as well have sold that and then just go back and get you a new one
Yep.
later. I learned that the hard way messing with pawn shops, right? They definitely cheat you because they want to be able to make a profit. So you had a certain time to go back, but see the difference was we weren't doing the usury on each other. So if I sold something for $100, I could go back and buy it for $100. It wasn't 150, it wasn't 200, it wasn't 300. It was the price that I sold it, just as long as I went within that year for the house that was in a city. You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 31. But the houses of the villages which have no wall round about them shall be counted as the fields of the country.
Right, go ahead.
They shall be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. Verse 32. Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession, may the Levites redeem at any time.
Right, because they didn't have that possession. So if they did happen to sell something, they could always go back whenever they wanted and get that. That was their right. That was their right, no matter where it was. Go ahead.
And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold and the city of his possession shall go out in the year of Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then shalt thou receive him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with you. Take thou no usury of him.
See that? You take no usury. Don't. That interest, right? Usury. The whole point was, it's like a person moves in with you and your rent's $1,000 and you make them pay the whole $1,000. But you tell them your rent's $2,000. Come on, man. I've seen. Listen, that's what they do to you when you rent a property.
That's true.
Right? They'll tell you that the rent is $1,500, but the mortgage is only $1,000.
Yep.
Because what are they doing? They're taking that extra $5 to knock off their car note or pay whatever bills in their house. That's usury. That's usury. It's capitalism, actually. But we weren't supposed to do that to each other. If a person waxed poor and fell into decay, the point was you didn't want to keep them in that situation forever. You wanted to help them to get on their feet. So they might have to stay with you for low cost or no cost until they can get back going. Go ahead.
Or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. Verse 37. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase.
Yeah. Again, I'm gonna lend you 100. I need 150 back by the end of the week. Oh, when you gonna pay me back? I'll pay you back in 2 weeks. Okay, well you owe me 150. I only borrowed 100. That's that loan shark. That's that loan shark business. For every 100, there's 25 added on. $25 for every 100. I'll lend you 25 for every 100. That's that loan shark. That's that mafia mentality,
Yeah, straight up.
right? That's gonna keep one person rich and keep another person struggling. The point was that there was supposed to be an equity and equality amongst us, right? One person wasn't supposed to be scared to lend, the other wasn't supposed to be scared to ask, right? Go ahead.
Verse 38, I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your power. And if thy brother that dwelleth with by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant.
Right, a bond servant, bondmaid and bondwoman. What's that? Bondman and bondwoman. What's that? Right. It wasn't supposed to be a slave. It wasn't supposed to be slavery. That's why even Jacob, when he went with Laban, right? Laban being his what? No, what was his? What was he? That was his uncle. Yeah, that was his uncle. That was his relative. That was his kin. Laban hired him for a wage. He said he changed my wages 7 times. Right? The first thing he wanted was Rachel.
Yep.
Then he switched that up, gave him Rachel, Leah, but then switched up throughout the course of the time his wages. So he worked for a wage. Right? We were supposed to, again, it was about getting a person back on their feet and not keeping them oppressed. That's what we're dealing with now, right?
That's true.
Even when you're going for a wage in America,
Yeah.
that minimum wage is very, very tough.
Yeah.
What is that now?
That's
$7 an hour?
That was 8. I thought
hell no.
It's $7.25.
That's a
Yeah.
cap. $8.
Not here.
Not here. Yep. And it isn't a
It's
different.
like they're near
that-
$4 a gallon. You
Yeah.
can
That's my point. So that's my point.
you can't even afford that.
That's my whole point. $7.25. Diesel gas is $5.25.
Yeah. Con.
Yeah. A carton of eggs is $3 something
Yeah.
for the 12 pack.
Yeah.
A gallon of milk is what now? I don't even drink milk. But that was talking about milk, bread, and cheese. What's a thing of milk? Last time I remember it was like $3.50. It got what?
Yeah, it's,
White cow's pus? It was 5 something?
Hey.
That's crazy. You see my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it don't add up. But what is it showing you about America?
Woo.
It says that this is Sodom, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah in Egypt.
Con. Con.
Spiritual bondage, spiritual slavery, but really it's still physical
Yeah.
because of the cost of living is continually skyrocketing.
Right.
You got people trying to buy motorhomes and live on the damn road
Mhm.
because rent.
Yep.
Rent is insane, right? Mortgages are insane.
Yep.
Inflation is insane. I can't wait for it to crash.
man.
I can't wait for this recession,
Con.
right? I'm ready. I
Con.
think. I'm trying to worry if I'm gonna be able to afford gas. You said what?
The apartments are just as bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rent. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Rent is crazy. What is rent these days? Like for like a 1 bedroom
It depends.
1,500 depending on where you are.
in Texas?
God.
To 1,500.
That's
In
one day.
Texas?
Yeah,
There's
some
a art-
places.
there's a-
My son was paying
there's
like
an
1100.
apartment complex. It's like an art I don't know what it is. I think it's art something.
Right?
But they're like 1,500 to like 5,000
Oh,
for a
God.
1 to 3 bedroom apartment.
Downtown.
Jesus.
Where's that at?
Stafford, like right, it's near the school.
First of all, Stafford smells bad. So it ain't like it's some beachfront property.
Con.
That's why I left Colorado though, because one of the reasons I was in an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. When we got that apartment, it was like 800. In 3 years, they wanted to get the rent to 14. I had no garage. I had nobody shoveling snow for me. I have no extra amenities, right? But inflation was already on the rise 8-9 years ago,
Yeah.
right? Colorado is one of the most expensive places in America to live. It's very expensive because of the ganja. You know, they legalized the ganja and all that stuff. The places, people flock to those places so they know they could hike the rent. But just look at what's going on. For 1 hour, you could barely put a gallon of gas in your car
Yep.
at minimum wage. Yeah, man. I mean,
It's crazy.
that's insane. When you look at it, but this place ain't built for you to succeed.
Nope.
Because who keeps getting rich?
The rich.
Yeah, the oil companies, they keep getting rich. The food companies, they keep getting rich.
Yeah.
Because you gotta eat. You
Yeah.
gotta get to work.
Come.
It's like this bad cycle of I gotta get to work, so I gotta get gas. But then I gotta work because I gotta eat. So I gotta pay for this high ass food. But then I gotta live somewhere. Right? So I gotta pay this high rent.
Absolutely.
So all your fun little things that you were doing, that's out the door.
Yeah.
All that
That's true.
ticket money,
That's true.
it ain't there no more. It's going to gas. Yep. Where we at?
Verse 40. But as an hired servant, and as a sojourner, he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee until the year of Jubilee.
Right?
And then shall he depart from thee.
Or until the debt was cleared. Until the debt was cleared. It didn't have to be the whole, like again, if you put a man in your house for a year after Jubilee, there's 49 years. Whatever debt he wanted to clear up in that time, if it was cleared up, then he could go. He didn't have to be with you for the whole 49 years if he didn't choose to. You see that? Go ahead.
And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him.
Right, both he and his children. Remember Laban when he said to Jacob, "Give me my wives and my children"? I think those ain't your wives and children; those are Jacob's.
Right.
But Jacob knew that Laban was shifty. Right? He was a swindler. Right? He was a shyster. So he had to sneak away with his wives and his children because Laban was going to break the law and keep back the women and keep back all the children. Go ahead.
And shall return unto his own family,
Mm-hmm.
and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return.
Like Jacob did. Go ahead.
Verse 42. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen.
Because that was a curse.
Come.
That was one of the curses, that you would go into slavery and be bondmen and bondwomen. Slave men and slave women. No wage, no indentured servitude, none of that. You would just be a slave, and you would go through all the things that slaves go through without any type of righteous rule. Right? So he didn't want us to go through that. Was that it?
That's it.
Any questions? It's a short read. Just one chapter. It's one chapter. And it's just about the Jubilee. Who's next? There he is. Elijah shot with the shawl, Yashakar, Ban Yashala. I Micah. Barak.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Braktham.
Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 29.
Nope.
Verse 26.
Nope.
43.
43. Verse 43. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shalt fear thy God. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaid, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen.
Shall be of what?
The heathen
Go ahead.
that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you.
Right, so if the heathen, because the same situation, they would fall into some weird situation where they were going broke. They, you know what's wild? They do this now over there in the Middle East, where these dudes is crazy. They do it for a whole different purpose, but they're all broke over there, right? The majority of those people in you know these Middle Eastern countries, but they'll sell their daughters to another man. Now their daughters be like 8 years old, 10 years old, 9 years old. They're selling them to a grown ass man.
It's horrible.
Now you know what's going on with that.
Right.
That ain't like, oh, let me wait till she turns 18. Hell nah.
Man,
He's wifing that down as soon as he get her. At 8, 9, 10. Like, there was this whole thing. It was such an uproar when they did this news story on one of them. He ended up giving the little girl back to the family. He ended up giving her back. And they needed the money. But that's a practice they do. They'll sell their daughters. But the thing is, it's not being dealt with the right way. Where, yeah, you're gonna sell your daughter to this man, but this man is not gonna be damn righteous or cordial and wait for her to become of age to deal with her. So you got little 8, 10-year-old, 12-year-old little girls running around damn these Muslim countries pregnant. You don't hear about it because they just hide them.
Yep.
They just hide them. They hide them away behind the walls. But it's going down out there, real heavy. It's going down out there real heavy. But obviously, if we were doing this, when we were doing it, we were doing it with righteousness as the borders on how to do it, right? So if you were a stranger and I bought your little son for a slave boy, I wasn't gonna be on some pedophile stuff. Right? It wasn't going to be no man on boy pedophilia, because we weren't on that.
Right.
The righteous weren't on that, right? But think about it. Where do you think a lot of these things come from? Some of these practices that were done the wrong way, done out of lust and negativity. Oh, I could just buy me a young little boy,
Right.
for a little slave boy. Oh, okay, I could have my way with him. A lot of these Europeans, that's what they were on way back in the day. All your great European heroes that had a little black slave boy. What do you think they was doing with
It's
it?
true.
man.
Right? So they sold a boy for a harlot
Yep.
and a girl for a bottle of wine.
Good.
Where do you think that came from? The Columbus and his crew, and all those so-called great European adventurers and sailors and whatever.
So true.
Yeah, like little boys and girls that they was raping,
Yep.
sleeping with, and they were slaves, and they were misusing that. We didn't do it like that. We would treat them. They would be there to do their job. They would minister to whatever you needed them to do. Remember, even the Levites had slaves that they would buy. They would tend to the temple or to whatever the Levite needed. They would carry his books, whatever it was, right? Not that he needed books, but you know what I mean, right? Might wash his garments. I'm not sure, but they had him doing something, right? You go to the markets, they would go. They would be buying and trading slaves. So obviously, there's a righteous way to do it. The white man got a hold of this, boop, and took it to the moon, right?
Shit.
Or he ran it into the ground. Because this is what they were using. This is what they were using for slavery. And omitting certain things, and then you couldn't touch that New Testament, certain parts, right? So this is what they use, and they would block out certain things to keep the slaves in slavery. Like, look, it's righteous. It's righteous to be a slave. It's righteous to have slaves. It is, if you do it righteously. Nowhere in here does it say to chop off her breasts. Nowhere in here does it say to castrate. Because it say if you castrate a man, you're going to be castrated. That's what it say, eye for eye, tooth for a tooth, right? You cut her breast off, you're going to lose a breast too. That's what it should have been happening. You hang, you know what I'm saying? But they omitted those parts. And no, it's okay if we beat you. It's okay if we knock your teeth out and shove food down your throat. It's okay if we rape your women. It's okay if we rape your boys. It's okay if we rape your men. Buck breaking, all those, you don't read that. Like, go break a buck.
Yep.
Tie a man up and rape him in front of his family. Where is that at? Huh. Even the servants got the Sabbath. They got a day of rest. Right? Even the slaves got a chance to sit back on the Sabbath day and do what? No work. Enjoy their families, enjoy themselves. Hey, put your leg down. Sit like a little lady. Right?
Animals too.
Animals too got the rest. Right? So obviously there's a right way to have a slave, have a servant, and there's a wrong way. What's that?
I just had seen an article on Instagram. I think it was actually Chief Ephraim who shared it. I don't know if you've seen it, but basically a 14-year-old girl, I don't know if she went to the police or it ended up on the news though, but her parents ended up giving her to a man like in his 40s or 50s, like they married her off, and she told them like we're a part of the Hebrew Israelite faith.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Damn,
it's
there it is.
so embarrassing. I'm like,
Yep,
dang.
there it is.
They married her off when she was 13, and she finally came forth a year later.
Yep.
Yeah, and who's doing that? ain't nobody doing that except for unlearned, untaught,
It's true.
professing themselves to be godly and they're not. Like, ain't nobody doing that, man. This day and age that we're in, you can't do that because you do have to obey the law of the land in certain instances. You know what I'm saying? You're not marrying off your 14-year-old daughter to no grown-ass man. You're just not doing that in this day and age. A woman at 14 is not a woman. That's a girl. She hasn't even been taught anything about womanhood for her to be qualified for a wife. Where way back in the day, in these biblical times, a girl was being raised as a wife from the time she jumped out that womb. She was getting those principles of womanhood from she could understand and comprehend, right? From her early age, what was she doing? Nestled up under her mom, mimicking those duties that a wife would do. A boy, right? What was he doing? Mimicking the things that his dad was doing. But his dad wasn't sitting on the couch playing video games until he was 30. He wasn't sitting around doing nothing. What were you out there doing at the age of walking? Well, all you do is take it back to the early days of America. Take it back to the early days of America and take it back to black people on the farm. As soon as you could walk, guess what you was doing? You was helping. You were helping out. You were doing something. You were learning how to assimilate and operate in that setting. So they didn't wait till you were 15 to try to teach you the principles of manhood. You were being taught those things early. You didn't get taught how to be a woman at 21 after you done got ran through by a bunch of guys. They were teaching you that from the jump. So yeah, that's totally off. And then yeah, the name of the Most High is blaspheme to the Gentiles to you.
God.
Man,
That's sad because it puts a stain on all of us.
It does.
It puts a stain on all of us, and it makes us look like we're all about that. I mean, ain't nobody up in here running around with no 14-year-olds.
Oh, geez.
Sorry, my daughter is 15. I dare one of y'all to try it.
Come on,
Sad.
man.
Then even please, even when you talk about in scripture where the men would consider men to go to war, they had to be 21.
Yep.
So even at that time, when you think about someone being an adult, they didn't really even consider that until
So you're a lot older.
you were allowed to fight and do things of that nature.
Yep. This society is so backwards as hell. You're not a man. You're a man at 18, but you can't drink till you're 21. What sense does that even make? You can sign all the documents in the world and destroy your credit, but you can't drink a beer to celebrate you destroying your credit till you're 18. Right? It just shows you how backwards things are, and it's their little laws and stipulations. It's not based on anything of value.
Right.
We know through understanding. My thing is this: if she can't go buy me a beer, she's useless. If I needed a 6-pack, and I'm with a woman, and I'm like, hey, I need you to stop at the store and give me a 6-pack of Guinness. Oh, but remember, I'm too young. I don't need you.
That's true.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing that you can do for me. Right? There's nothing you can do for me. You see that? So, it's just a shame that, and I haven't seen that article. I was actually trying to look for it.
I had it, I'll send it.
Oh, damn.
I heard about it.
Really?
The mom has been, she's been indicted.
Right.
as well.
They ain't no real Israelites though, because
Oh, yes.
they some fly-by-nights.
Right.
They ain't no real Israelites because that's some Kemet stuff.
Yeah.
That's some Kemet stuff because that's what they on. Little girls and
Pedophilia.
You know, what you said a minute ago about you dare somebody to try it, as far as your
there's somebody to try
your
it.
15-year-old. Hey, we should all up in here feel like that. We should all feel like that toward all the kids up in there.
That's
Yep.
right.
We should all protect the kids up in there.
That's right.
Oh yeah, I would, bro. I would
That's our
not.
mold, you know.
Ain't no grown ass
All
man.
of them, the boys, all
That's
of them.
true.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, and that is the mode.
Yeah.
That is the mode. You know. Come on, even think about it. Even if another 15-year-old boy was trying to get with her, I would have to pause that and say, wait a minute, you don't even know what the hell you're doing.
Okay.
I was in,
You know what I'm saying? What's up?
I have everybody knows I have a 19-year-old daughter, and her mind capacity isn't to be out there in the world doing what she needs to do. She's not mature enough to do what she needs to do out there in the world. So why would I want to give her to a man that's going to treat her? I can't say what I
man.
say, but why would I want to do that? You know, so I had to.
Well,
she
you wouldn't,
knows.
well, first of all, you wouldn't want to give her to a worldly man.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. You know, so I want to stop on everything that comes along in her way now. So, you know, it's crazy.
I mean, at the same time, we do got to own up that as they get older,
Yeah, they gonna
the scriptures say marry your daughter, but give her to a man of understanding.
right.
So, you know, that's where I'm at. Even my son, I don't want him out there with these raggedy ass chicks in the world. Hell nah. I don't want that for him. The things that I have to deal with, and none of you that got kids should want your kids intermingling with the worldly kids. Y'all online. You little kids online talking about you got boyfriends at school and that's your girlfriend and all that crap. No, that's not your boyfriend and that's not your girlfriend. That's not what you even need. You should be worried about just that's a friend, right? Or that's an associate. Let me get to know a person. Prove a friend. Y'all too quick to put everybody as your friend. Oh, that's my bestie. No, it ain't. Your bestie will let you go down in a damn flame of fire. He had to learn. He got accused for something at school that he said he didn't do, that the kid next to him did. And then they watched him get in trouble. I said, why didn't you say nothing? He's like, well, I didn't want him to get in trouble. I'm like, but he just watched you get in trouble. And then he's like, that's my friend. I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Don't be so quick to credit people. Because that's the problem. We're so quick to give this credit. We've been taught like if you don't have these titles, then it don't mean nothing. You know, you got to have these titles to be a part of what's going on. Y'all in here don't need boyfriends and girlfriends. Y'all just need to learn how to read. Y'all need to listen to y'all. Your parents should be y'all's friends and your confidant. Not some raggedy ass boy, some little raggedy ass boy that got more problems than you. Y'all are sitting here. The one thing is that y'all are sitting here as kids, right? So why would you deal with somebody that ain't sitting here? They can't help you. You're gonna go to the people, to the world with your problems. They can't help you. They're gonna add more problems to you. So, man, I'm on this page. Where's that article? I just want to see. Man, that's insane.
That is insane.
I can't find it.
You probably removed it because it makes us look bad, regardless of anything. It just makes us look bad, bro. That makes us look bad as hell. Even though it ain't. Woman gets 30 years in prison for letting 13-year-old marry 47-year-old man. That is Richmond, Texas. Oh my God. That's right up the street. Texas woman has been convicted of after allowing her 13-year-old daughter to endure sexual abuse by a 47-year-old man, a normal part of their religious beliefs.
A normal part.
Cherry Payton, 43, was convicted of continuous sex abuse of a young child and sentenced in Texas court last week for 30 years. Good. According to the Fort Bend County District Office, prosecutors said that in 2007, the girl admitted to her doctor that she was sexually active with her husband, who she said was 47. Payton, who was also at the doctor's office, said the girl was married with her consent. She said the marriage was part of her religious belief. I'm trying to see where they throw us in there.
It was one of them.
It's there.
Right.
Is that ready?
I I don't see
saying
it.
we're part of the Hebrew Israelites.
I'd have to probably find a different article.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's several of them right now on
Yeah.
YouTube, like
Oh,
different
here it is.
snippets.
Oh no, wait.
Yeah,
Former
where
police.
where
Oh, no.
they just say,
Yeah.
that's what she said,
Yeah.
like lots of.
And a lot of these stories be plants
Yeah.
also to make, this is how you destroy a movement. Deter anything. It's not gonna stop. You can't stop the Most High's program.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? No matter what you put in there, the momentum has already gained and been gained. Right? They can shut down every YouTube, they can shut down every this, every that. You'll probably just see more of us on the street more often. You see more of us gathering together more often. Because now that you shut down one aspect, another aspect has to come up. Jada.
Can't do
Sit properly. Hey, your pop, can you talk to her, please? Yeah. Right? Where we at? Let's jump back. So we understand. We don't sex traffic. Right? This wasn't about sex trafficking and trading children for sexual gain or anything weird that they push in America. This was solely you could sell and trade and buy servants to keep your land going, right? The same thing we're gonna be doing in the kingdom. Right? Remember, the heathen shall be your possession, Isaiah 14, Isaiah 60, Isaiah 50, right? All those Isaiahs. Right? We're gonna get what we're supposed to be getting. We're gonna do what we were supposed to be doing from the jump. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 45.
Right?
Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy out of their families that are with you, which they begot in your land, and they shall be your possession, and ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for possession. They shall be your bondmen forever.
Yeah, but if you were mistreating them, killing them, raping them, how can they be there forever? They would want to kill themselves. Like how we try to kill ourselves in slavery. Right? So you got to see there was a level of treatment even that the servants got. Remember, there was no ill will here. There wasn't some hatred here. This was, what are we talking about? We're talking about people going broke and losing their posterity or losing some type of social situation. And in order to, think about it, would you rather be homeless or be a slave? In a righteous man's house. Right? At this time, it was like, damn, being a slave in the Israelites' house, that's like being in the kingdom.
Right.
Think about it. When we went to war, we wiped out the land and we kept the women and children alive of that nation. Think about it. There was no men there to keep that society going. So for some with us, as harsh as you might think it is, or oh, that's mean, or the Most High is, but for them to come with us and be a servant or a slave, bruh, that was heaven.
Right.
Because now we got them off the defiled foods. Now we got them cleaned up. They were sitting back hearing the scriptures.
They got upgraded.
It was all the way upgrade. You got out of your filth.
Yep.
You got all the way out your filth. Just like any person that comes in your circle is an upgrade. That's an upgrade to their life. Because what are you doing? Perfect example. We'll be in the mall. We all amongst the heathen in the mall. And they doing all type of sloppy, filthy stuff that they just do, right? Our people too. And you rap to them, you talk to them, and they're coming with their problems. Oh, and this, and my boyfriend, and my 18 partners, and you like, you shouldn't be doing that. They're like, why not? It's just the way and it's like, well, you got all these issues going on. Watch, if you didn't do this, then this wouldn't happen. If you didn't do this, this wouldn't happen. And then you thinking like they ain't listening, right? Because they just don't be listening. Then they'll come back like, you know what, Q? You were right. And they're bouncing around. They're still high, right? they're still doing crack. That's gonna take a while for them to get off of, but they start knocking down the certain things that they were doing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, people got healthy just off of, hey, you got to change your diet up, right? Just a conversation of diet in the mall. They're like, man, you know what? You were right, man. I stopped eating this, I stopped eating that. I went to the doctor, diabetes gone. I went to the doctor, high blood pressure gone. Like, I've had that conversation with people so many times. You know what I'm saying? And it's just us shedding that light on their spirit and being that influence and literally upgrading their lives, pulling them out the mire, pulling them out their filth, because nobody else is going to do it for them. So we're literally the saving grace. If it wasn't for us, this whole earth would be in all the way decay. We're the only things that's keeping some level of cleanliness in America, in the world. You see that? So for these situations to happen, come on, this servant was able to have his family live for the next few generations.
Right.
With a righteous man. I mean, I'm taking the righteous man. Right? Taking the righteous situation. I don't want to be homeless no more. Right? I don't want to be homeless. I'm like, bro, you want to take me in? I just got to wash some dishes and scrub some floors? Clean some doo-doo from the animals?
You're not going to abuse me?
Sign me up. And my wife, sign her up.
Yeah.
And those children, you got them too. Right. And can my cousin come? Yeah, you'd be like, man, listen, I got an uncle in now. I got a real strong cousin. You know what I'm saying? His back is real strong. He got no problem plowing that field. Can he come? I be trying to invite the whole family. You know what I'm saying? Because the point was we were supposed to deal with these situations in a righteous manner. You see that? And not turn it into the slavery that we've been through. Right. Read on.
They shall be your bondmen forever, but over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him, either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin of him of his family may redeem him, or if he be able, he may redeem himself, and he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold to him unto the year of Jubilee, and the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years, according to the time of an hired servant shall it be with him. If there be yet many years behind according unto them, he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. And if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count him, and according unto his years shall he give away again the price of his redemption, and of a yearly hired servant shall he be with him. And the others.
What verse you at?
Verse 53. And the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight, and if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him. For unto me, the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I'm the Lord your God.
Any questions on that chapter? Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 26, verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven images, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down
shall make no idols nor graven images, neither rear up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow to them. It wasn't that you couldn't have decorations or decor, right? When Solomon built the temple, leading up to the throne, he had, if I'm not mistaken, 12 lions, solid gold statues, right? He wasn't bowing down to the lions. So it wasn't wrong to have the decorations, because if I want to get stupid, I could bow down to this ram's horn if I wanted to. Right? I could bow down to the tablet. I could bow down to the phone. I could bow down to the Torah. Like the actual paper and wood.
Right.
Anything that could be created and thought upon could be bowed down to and made an idol. Right? The point was not that you couldn't make things. It was that you weren't supposed to be bowing down to these things. Y'all get that? You could have images in your house. You could have photos and pictures. You could have paintings. I'm saying this, why? Because you got over-righteous Israel that's like, you got a photo in his house. That's wicked. You got images. Like, what? Show me. So, a photo of my family is wrong? No, you just weren't supposed to be bound down. That shouldn't be a shrine and an altar. Take the food that way. Take it that way. I don't want it in here. It shouldn't be a shrine, and then you burn incense to your family and candles to your mama and
The ancestors. And all
yeah, you burning stuff to the ancestors. Sage, right? You burning your sage, your tobacco, your oregano.
Right, because that's what granddad liked to. He liked to smoke tobacco.
Right,
So
all
he
that.
burned tobacco to it.
The point is, you weren't supposed to bow down to the things that these graven images. You can have them, right? They're all graven images. Everything. Graven images. Graven image. Graven image. Graven image. Graven image. It's not just because it's not graven out of the shirt. That's because it wasn't etched out with a damn pick and a hammer. Does not mean that it's not a graven image. The point was it was something that could be constructed, something that could be printed on. I remember somebody had an argument with that, like it's not a graven image because you press it onto the shirt. Like, shut up. What do you mean? It was something that you can look at and bow down to if you were slow enough. Right. The point was not to bow down. I mean, y'all get that, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So where are we going now?
Shabbat Yahawada Ban Yasharala.
I'm on Izar, Shabbat Shah, Yahawada, Ban Yashala. I might Barak.
Yahawah Shem Yahshah Brakatham.
Yahawah Shem Yahshah Barakatah.
Where we at?
We're going to go to Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 6.
Right, so, I mean, what are we going to read? Well, we're going to read the law in action. We're going to read the law in action. Jeremiah 32. Yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 32 and verse 6. And Jeremiah said, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, behold, Hanamel, the son of Shalom, thine uncle, shall come unto thee, saying, buy thee my field that is in Anathoth.
Right, so Jeremiah's cousin was going to come to him. Go ahead.
For the rights of redemption of thine to buy it.
Right, because being Levites, they could buy back their land that they sold off at any time. Remember we read that in the law? Right. So the rights of redemption, they can go back and reclaim whatever was sold at any time. Go ahead.
So Hanamel, mine uncle's son, came to me in the court of the prison, according to the word of the Lord, and said unto me, buy my field, I pray thee, that is in Anathoth, which is in the country of Benjamin. For the right of inheritance is thine, and the redemption is thine. Buy it for thyself. Then I knew that it was the word of the Lord. And I bought the field of Hanamel, my uncle's son, that was in Anathoth, and weighed him the money, even 17 shekels of silver. And I subscribed the evidence, and sealed it, and took witnesses, and weighed him the money in the balances. So I took the evidence of the purchase, both that which was sealed according to the law and custom, that which was open. And I gave the evidence of the purchase unto Baruch, the son of Neriah.
Right, Baruch was who to Jeremiah? That was his scribe. Right, when you read the book of Baruch in the Apocrypha, it was that Baruch. But Baruch was Jeremiah's scribe. Go ahead.
The son of Maaseiah, in the sight of Hanamel, mine's uncle's son, and in the presence of the witnesses that subscribed the book of the purchase, before all the Jews that sat in the court of the prison. And I charged Baruch before them, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the Most High of Israel, take these evidences, this evidence of the purchase, both which is sealed, and this evidence which is open, and put them in an earthen vessel, that they may continue many days. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel.
What you got to understand about this, the significance. It's not just that showing that they could buy back that land at any time. The significance was this: when you look at the situation, the Babylonian Empire had taken Jerusalem and Israel. They have already besieged the city for a year. So think about it. Why would you go buy a field that that another nation basically controls? You see that? Like, would it make sense, right? Whatever you grew, whatever you did, they're gonna take that. The significance was showing that Israel could be redeemed out of the heathen's hand. When you look at this whole story, just think about it. He went and bought land. You got to kind of know what's going on in the story. You got to know what's happening with Jeremiah. First of all, he's a prisoner at this time, and the three tribes, they're in control of Babylon. Got them. They got the land. They besieged the land. So really, we don't have control of our own land. Nebuchadnezzar does. When you read verse 1, the word came to Jeremiah from the Lord in the 10th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, which was the 18th year of Nebuchadnezzar. For then the king of the Babylonians' army besieged Jerusalem. And Jeremiah the prophet was shut up in the court of the prison, which was in the king of Judah's house. So Jeremiah was a prisoner. The land is besieged by the heathen. Jeremiah, go buy a field. For what? Right? But really, the significance, the symbolism was that we were going to be in this captivity, and the Most High was still going to redeem us out of captivity. Y'all get that? Go ahead.
Verse 15. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land.
See that? The land is going to be restored back to the people. This was the significance. Go ahead.
Now when I had delivered the evidence of the purchases unto Baruch, the son of Neriah, I prayed unto the Lord, saying, Ah, Lord God, behold, that hast made the heaven and the earth by thy great power and stretched out arm. And there is nothing too hard for thee.
Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 18. Thou showest loving kindness unto thousands, and recompensest the iniquity of the fathers into the bosom of their children after them. The great, the mighty power, the Lord of hosts is his name. Great in counsel and mighty in work, for thine eyes are open upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give everyone according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings, which has set signs and wonders in the land of Egypt, even unto this day, and in Israel, and among other men, and has made thee a name as at this day, and has brought forth thy people Israel out of the land of Egypt with signs, and with wonders, and with a strong hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with great terror, and has given them this land, which thou didst swear to thy fathers to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. And they came in and possessed it, but they obeyed not thy voice.
See that? We got the land. Go ahead, but we didn't obey. Read.
Obeyed not thy voice, neither walked in thy law.
You see that? We didn't walk in the law according to what he wanted for us to do with the land, what he wanted us to do with each other. We didn't follow the year of Jubilee. We didn't follow the land Sabbath. We didn't follow the moral law, the dietary law, the civil law, the sacrificial law. We didn't follow those things. So what happens? Well, now you got to live in your land with the Babylonians besieged around you. Basically, occupation. We were occupied by the Babylonians. And what they were able to do was what? Whenever they wanted, they could have snatched a man up and take him to Babylon to go build and be a servant over there. Whenever they saw a nice little tender Israelite woman, hey, let's go. A nice little tender Israelite child, that's going to be a good slave. And they would just take you. They could do whatever they want, bring you back when they wanted or never. You ran, guess what happened when you ran? You try to run, and guess what Esau would do? They'd grab you up, take you right back to Babylon, breaking the law. The scriptures say when a man break away from his slave owner, you don't send him back, you just hold him with you. Esau was like, oh, hell no, look, we got these Israelite slaves that ran, and they would bring us back into Jerusalem or bring us back into Babylon. Yeah, it was cold, man. This lasted for years. Years and years. I think this captivity was might have been 80.
This was a 70-year
or 70 years. Yeah, 70 years with the Babylonians, right? Just being brought back and forth, trained in and trained out, and the whole time you losing everything. But why? Disobedience. Read.
They have done nothing of all that thou commandest them to do.
We didn't do none of the law, bro. We didn't do nothing. We broke all 600 plus.
It takes me to like the end of the book when it was like Khan, like Amen, Aman.
Yep, we would do all.
Yeah.
And our commanders, and we didn't do nothing. And obviously it's a process of time. And a lot of excuses. Go ahead.
Therefore, thou hast caused all this evil to come upon them. Behold the mounts, they are come unto the city to take it. And the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans that fight against it because of the sword and of the famine and of the pestilence. And what thou hast spoken is come to pass. And behold, thou seest it. And thou hast said unto me, O Lord God, buy thee the field for money, and take witnesses? For the city is given into the hand of the Chaldeans.
Wow.
Then came the word of the Most High unto Jeremiah, saying,
Yep.
Behold, I am the Lord, the power of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me?
Nope. Is that it?
That's it.
Right, and then when you read down to that, prediction of the fall of Jerusalem, the actual destruction, right? Me? Oh. And that's it?
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna do the Apocrypha, we're trying to make VA catch up, let them catch up. Yeah, wisdom of Solomon. Try to make sure I stay on top of that. Where we going, Luke?
Luke chapter 4, verse 14.
I mean, I could have extended this for 8 hours. Is that what y'all? I know I can talk. I can extend it. Be on one scripture in 30 minutes. Hell no, I wasn't doing that today. Listen, by Monday it was a long week. I made it all the way to Saturday. All the way to the Sabbath. By the graces of Yahweh. So, I was like, whoa, it's a long week. I said that on Monday night. God. So 2 days in, I'm already like, oh wow. So ain't no reason to draw it out. You know, Luke what?
Luke chapter 4, verse 14.
Luke 4 and 14. Right. Again, more on the watch. I'll read it. Luke 4 and 14. And Yahushua returned in the power of the Spirit unto Galilee, and there went out a fame of him through all the region round about. And he taught in their synagogues, being glorified of all. He came to Nazareth, where he had been brought up. And as his custom was, he went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and stood up for to read, and there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. Right? Isaiah, but it's Isaiah.
God.
And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written. Right? Isaiah 61.
Yep.
The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of the sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. So Yahushua is our perpetual Jubilee.
God, man.
You know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Right? He's gonna be that final breakaway from bondage, that slavery, the usury, the you got to do everything with your credit score. He's gonna break all that down, man, and bring us back to the proper dealings with each other. Get these damn nations off our back. To teach the acceptable year of the Lord. And he closed the book, and he gave it again to the minister, and sat down, and the eyes of all them that were in the synagogue were fastened on him. He began to say unto them, This day is the scripture fulfilled in your ears. And all bare him witness, and wondered at the gracious words which proceeded out of his mouth. And they said, Is not this Joseph's son? Like, man, remember yesterday? Is this Saul, son of Kish? Right? Because when the Spirit is on you, and when he said he rolled in the power of the Spirit. So remember, Yahushua wasn't flip-flopping in and out of the Spirit just because, he had demons on him. He always stayed in the Spirit, but that spirit of prophecy, right? And knowing what to say and when to say it. Right? He basically, come on, Isaiah, we always say the Gospels, right? And we're like, oh, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. The Gospel is Isaiah 61. That's the Gospel. That's where the Gospel began, right? That's the Gospel. To preach the good news that your slavery will be over. Your hurt, your heartache, your pain, your suffering, it's going to come to a year, the acceptable year, that Jubilee. There's a time.
It's coming.
It's coming. I was reading Hebrews. I've been in Hebrews a lot, but I've been in like 9, 10, getting that down about the sacrifice and the final sacrifice. And something caught my ear when I got right here pulled in and said that Yahushua sacrificed himself in the end of the world. Yeah, think about that. When he was sacrificed, it said it was already the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just hit me like, damn. We've been saying that, like, the end of the day, like, Yahushua's sacrifice signified the end of days, but we were already there. We were already there, but look how long it's taking for the mission to be complete. Right? We're 2,000 years removed. 2,022 years, right?
Yeah.
Somewhat. Removed from that, and look, we're still trying to get it together. We're still trying to figure it out. People are still waking up 2,000 years later.
We're waiting on the sons of God.
Not as, yep. So that's why you got to just stay. You got to hold on and keep the faith, because you never know when. We never know when that time is, man. We say it all the time.
It's like Romans 13:11. Our salvation is
Nearer than what we once believed. We just never know, man. You got to hold on. You got to keep the faith, endure to the end. If Yahushua 2,000 plus years ago, and they knew that was the end, I mean, come on. Think about all the men that came after. You think the apostles wasn't seeing things and saying, damn, this is it?
Yeah.
Or were they like, oh yeah, long live America? Hell nah. They were like, oh, the end of the world is here. Right? The end is here. Like, this is it. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep the faith. So, I mean, that's it for the reading, right? I just set a whole new record. Any questions? I mean, it was short.
Yeah, it was super
It was
short.
literally 2 chapters.
It was 88 verses total.
Yeah. I set a record. I mean, I could have made it longer.
You know?
Come on now.
You know?
Even our classes don't have 88 verses. Right? I could have made that long. In class, we going to, I mean, that was 2.5 hours. What y'all want?
Next little thing.
Y'all want to talk some more? What y'all want to do?
I'm rolling with you. Whatever you think.
I'm thinking that it don't always got to be 18 hours long.
I'm rolling with you.
That's what I'm thinking. That it ain't always got to be some drawn out thing.
Right. Get straight
Right?
to it.
This is our year of Jubilee. This is our day of Jubilee.
Today.
Right? This is our day. What's that? What's that, sis?
That's
Well,
funny.
this is still on the subject, going back to when you were talking about changing our habits of eating.
Right?
As soon as I learned of that verse, and I can say it out loud, because I know you guys already know, my husband had a stroke.
Right.
Last year. Then I was here in class one day and I was leaving, and he was having a second one. But this time it took his voice and it even stopped him from swallowing. I mean, it messed all that up. But to make a long story short, like he was saying that, when we change, then good things begin to happen. And I've been noticing his level of his sugar, his blood pressure. My cousin is my witness. It stayed high.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept telling him, you gotta get off this bacon. I had made the decision the minute I read it. But he loved bacon. But
Like
he
so
has
many of our
had
people do.
bacon in 2 months.
Nice.
He took his blood pressure 2 days ago, and it was the best I had ever saw it. His sugar level has been, and I'm giving Most High praises, because my husband's a very stubborn man, but I thank God that it's coming together.
Rocket
And
that
he
out.
started to obey, because, I just had to make it clear to him, we need Yahweh. And we need to do the righteous acts and do what's right. his, righteousness.
Right.
And I just wanted to say that because, you know, it's amazing. I was just blown away. But, you know, I immediately just started thinking the Most High.
Sweet.
So,
Yeah, I was looking for this, just on what you're saying. And it's the Josephus, and he goes in about, he's talking about the people that have lived deliciously, meaning they just lived, they just ate, drank, whatever they want, and they abused their bodies. It said in order for them to be healed, they would have to make a complete life change. It's in the 800s, I forget exactly where it is, I gotta find it. But, you know, whenever I go into my health classes, I used to do another one. Do a nice little health class.
Man, let me tell you something.
Yeah, you just bragging on your carrot juice. Carrot,
Man, it's the best thing out of me, man.
Yeah.
Yesterday I did. I had one greener than green. It was so green it looked black green.
It's part of that kale. What was that, kale?
I put kale in it, cucumber, spinach,
That's that
celery,
it's a spinach.
lime.
Celery and cucumbers are really good for the inflammation.
Oh man, when I got to drinking that, man, I just stood in the mirror and looked at myself. I said, wow, I look good. I don't even need my wife to tell me I look good. I look good. I started looking at my skin, and started looking all shiny. I said, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's that's a huge part of our destruction is food,
Yeah, the diet.
right?
Yeah, man.
The again, if you look at being a captive or being a slave, and then a person could feed you because they know you're gonna be hungry, they can give you whatever they want, right? So just think about, like, even they crying over all this damn formula, which I think is a beautiful thing that there's no formula. Because now they're doing this whole breast milk push.
Right.
But check this, when you look at the formula, and they did like a 30-year study on the formula and said that the formula was turning boys into homosexuals.
Yeah, all that soy.
All the soy was adding extra estrogen.
I heard that.
30-year study. Think about it. So that's just one aspect, right? That's one aspect, and then you just look at all the other things and additives they put in food.
Yeah.
And then you ask yourself, like, why does almond milk have to have 15 ingredients
That's true.
that you can't pronounce?
Right.
How come it can't just be almonds, water, and a little salt, a little honey? Why it gotta be gumbellium this and gum that and get this and that? And then what does that stuff do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you look, oh, that it's a gum, it's a binder. Put that in your gut, destroys your intestines.
Yep.
You know, it's little things like that, and you say, okay, what are they trying to destroy? If your intestines don't work, what else is not going to work? Your reproductive ain't going to work. Well, I can't wait 30 years from now when they look at all the weed smokers and say, oh, see, the weed got you. Now you can't reproduce. Now you got an extra arm growing. Now you got all these weird things happening, and they're going to say, oh, the miracle GMO marijuana did this to y'all. Right? So the Most High is constantly doing things to show everybody you're doing it wrong. Right? You're doing it wrong. You're feeding your kids powdered processed milk. You know, 4 kids, you know why there's no milk? 4 kids died. 2 kids died. 4 kids got sick. 2 kids died from the milk from the plant in, I think it's like out in Michigan. They shut the plant down. There was already a shortage. They shut the plant down, and then boom, it hits hard. But it's like, okay, well, I get it. Not every woman can breastfeed, but then why? Think about it. Why can't every woman breastfeed their child?
Foods.
It goes right back to what? It goes right back to what you eat, what you put in your body, and what you put on it. Why are women dying of like breast cancer? Like all of a sudden, breast cancer is just ruining everyone. Like you mean to tell me that a woman ain't supposed to have breasts? Right? How come the reproductive or the one thing in a woman that's supposed to keep that life going, they gotta chop them off? They constantly get infected. Well, Wouldn't you think instead of researching the cure, you would research the problem? Ain't nobody looking for the problem, right? But then when you bring it out and you say, well, all those underwires and all the little people be ripping the bras apart and all the little additive packs and all those different things, right? The cervical cancer and HPV and all these different things. Wouldn't you say, well, what the hell is the cause?
Right.
But when you're shoving little cotton things up there and not letting nature do its process, what did you think was going to happen? Right? So, you know, going back to the food thing, why can't a woman breastfeed her child? What stops a woman from breastfeeding that is breastfeeding? Rest and food. Eating the right foods, eating foods that help you lactate. They're not pushing that to these women. The first thing they do when you go give a birth in the hospital, they hit you with the pregnancy pack. They hit you with the blanket, the hat, and a 6-pack of Infamil.
Yep.
Ready to go. Right? You're not sending women in there to show a woman how to have her baby latch to feed. And if he don't latch fast enough, guess what they're doing? Well, got to hit him with the formula.
Right.
That got to be his first taste.
No patience.
Right? You're not giving the process time, but you're not having patience with these young mothers. It's backfiring now. All these women that was crying about formula, they over here on the breast milk bank online buying breast milk. Wow. They doing it out of Houston. They shipping out breast milk to all these women. And it bugs me out because something that's so natural, something that's so effortless has been stripped away because of the things that we read that we're not doing in the law. When it said we did none of the commandments, I mean, I can see why you can't suckle, why a child can't get breast milk from his mom. She got crack breasts, right? She got weed breasts. She got weed milk. She got pride milk. The babies don't need that anyway. The spirit be off, and then you can't even nurture your own child? I mean, damn. I mean, I could take it back one more step where you could barely get pregnant. You got all these chicks out in the world. Let me stop, man. But ain't that what's happening? Where women barely could even hold a pregnancy. You 3 months into and you just fretting like, oh my God. Every little movement, you looking to make sure that you didn't miscarry.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's so natural.
stressful.
To give birth is the most natural thing you can do. To be pregnant is one of the most natural things you can be and do. Right? But think about how much of a struggle it is for our women. Because everything you done gave yourself to done weakened that womb. Done weaken up them placenta walls. And when you do get pregnant, that it's not viable, it's not strong. The man, everything that he gave himself done weaken that sperm. Right? So sperm hitting egg, it ain't even the strongest of the strong. It's just whoever makes it. Because they all weak. They all got weed in them. Your wee little weed sperm, just the egg is here and he's hitting the walls over here. Listen, but going real, they on the slope. Right? The weed sperm just, the egg is here, the weed sperm is going backwards. Dang, man. Going backwards because he's confused. But if you got a bunch of weed sperm trying to impregnate a weed egg, what you gonna have? You're gonna have weakness. You're gonna have weakness, and then America just adds to it with the mind state, the food, and all the other different things. You had your hand up.
I did. It's funny that you talked about that now because I was doing some study on like the spirit of Jezebel and things like that. And then when I was going over Revelations, it was 2 and 22? I was just basically saying that.
Did we talk about weed sperm?
Well, it was just the Jezebel spirit of a woman who's in fornication and adultery and things like that. You will make her bed. And I was wondering what that really meant. And it was just basically saying you just have sickness. You have a lot of sickness in your body. Would just be, weak. Would that be a scripture that would be? Would that be?
I gave her
justification?
a space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. But I will cast her into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into great tribulation, except they repent of her deeds. And I will kill her children with death, Yeah, I mean, basically, she just gonna go into where she wants to be. That is where that adultery is. That adulterous bed. What's gonna come from that? Death. Right? You go into. We went through it last week. Proverbs 2, 3, 5, 7, 6. About that adulterous bed. Right? What did she say? She perfumes her bed to make it look good, but those ways is death and hell. Her feet go down to death. Yeah. So. This one right here, you can go to Ecclesiasticus 17. All bread is sweet to a whoremonger, and he says, her children shall have no root. Right? And then all you do is just back that story up with David and Bathsheba. And what happened to their first child? There was no root. Right? You go back into the law about the husband that suspects the wife of cheating, and she drinks the water. The water is supposed to swell up her belly and rot in her thigh.
Right.
Yeah, that swelling up of her belly, if she's pregnant, what's going to happen? That pregnancy is over.
Oh yeah.
That pregnancy is over. That baby ain't coming through. You see that? So, yeah. Yep. I like this. I was there to have a few things against the house of the sufferers because of that woman Jezebel. Right, that adulterous, haughty, harlot spirit. Ooh. Oh, damn. You just gave me a class.
I needed it.
I was that one on my own.
You just gave me a class. Damn. Give her space for fornication, because I would cast her into a bed. And then that, yeah, I mean, what does an adulteress, where does an adulteress want to be anyway? On her back in the bed.
Ooh.
What's that?
I have a question.
Okay.
So, if a woman gets pregnant from doing adultery,
Right?
what's supposed to happen to that child?
Well, back in the day, that woman was stoned, so the child didn't even come forth. Right? Now what do? No. It's called grace and mercy.
Right.
You forgive, the woman gets forgiveness, and somebody got to raise that kid. Unfortunately, right? And then the Most High handles the rest. It happens all the time. Right? More than likely what happens is this. You want me to tell you the real of what happens? So you got a man, you got a woman. Woman goes, commits adultery, gets pregnant by another man. Right? That don't work out. What does she end up doing? Going back to the first man, he got to sit down and raise that kid. And have a constant reminder.
It happens.
That what? Your wife committed adultery, because your wives will commit adultery, your daughters will commit whoredom, and I will not punish them. Hosea 16. Why? Because more than likely he was a hoe, running the streets, idol worshiping, being an adulterer, spiritual fornication. So the Most High got to check him through that situation. So that kid gets raised by another man. Or just fatherless. Or that man that committed adultery, that woman raises that kid. That's where you get a lot of broken homes. That's where you get a lot of those situations. But it's all, at the end of the day, I mean, what did you think would happen? Broken home. What did you think? Yeah. Just look at society. Look at society and look at, when you get back in school next year, watch. Talk to the kids and ask them. They'll tell you. You'll know they got broken homes, and, they probably won't know that their mom cheated with this person and that person, but a lot of those situations, if that woman is accustomed to doing that, she's done it more than once, and usually she's going to be a single woman anyway, just raising her children. And then men are going to pop in and out of her life. And you're going to have sometimes daddies, and then sometimes daddy not, right? You're not going to know who's the father of that child, so there's going to be fighting between that. Then there's going to be paternity tests, child support, all those bad things that we deal with in our society. But back in the day, oh no, there ain't no child support on that situation. It was kill her, no baby comes, get that wickedness up out of here. I want to go back to back in the day.
Cut it at the root.
I like back in the day. Now you gotta have grace and mercy. right? A lot of adulterous children have come forth from adulterous situations, right? But if that mother don't get her act together, what happens to those children? They just keep pushing that adultery, right? If somebody don't take care of those kids is they end up being what?
16.
Uh-huh.
As for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out.
So even if they are born and they come forth, they're not going to be to their perfection.
Something's going to be missing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Definitely.
This is the thing. But remember, we're at a whole different time where committing adultery is like the new relationship. Like, oh, if you didn't commit adultery, then you wrong.
Right.
Girl, you didn't sleep around on him?
Right.
You tripping. You didn't get him. You didn't get 15 daddies to get child support? You bugging.
Oh, God.
So adultery is the new norm.
Yeah.
It's a joke everywhere you go.
Yeah, to sleep around and to have 15 baby daddies and to be a hoe and to be a pimp and a playboy, that's the new norm. So we're in a whole flip of society where if you're not committing adultery, you're stupid as hell.
Right. Or you're whack. Or
Yeah, you're not exploring your options. If you're not being a free agent in your relationships, you're missing out.
Right.
So if you don't have that drama, you ain't living life.
Right.
So we're in a different time where these situations are now catered to, and people take pity on these people, and they give them the regard and the reverence. And I mean, really, is it a kid's fault?
Nah.
No. Father to the fatherless. Who had their hand up? Ivan.
I just talking about this. I seen it was an interview on these young ladies' podcast called "Good Mothers, Bad Choices" or something. With
Read.
that writer, that lady Corinne Stephens.
Yep.
But she changed her name now. It's weird.
Real garbage.
Yeah, she's real weird. And she's just talking about, all the way she is and how she writes the way she writes and her truth, and they're all talking about just being that independent woman who could be happy with herself and not be with a man, how you could truly be happy. You don't have to have a man. And I'm like, okay, that's garble. And then she's like talking about her marriage, and I don't know if she's still married or not, but just being in her marriage and how she was dealing with other men.
First of all, she was the one that would pop out the bed from her husband
Yeah.
and go
They
do
were
whatever
men.
with Lil Wayne
And Bow Wow.
and Jay-Z and these guys. Like, they'd give her a call like, hey, come over. Her dumbass husband would let her pop out the bed and she would go mess around with these celebrities.
Oh,
3 days a week at
He
a time.
knew it. Yeah, he knew it. She said it. She'd be right in the bed with her husband. That phone ring, he wouldn't even say nothing. He would just, do you, boo-boo.
Yeah.
So,
Nasty.
She was talking about
God.
that and talking about how she was paying all the bills at the time. So I don't know. She was just
Yep.
like her whole theory and mindset is just messed up.
but guess what? She shares the same mind state with half of America.
Oh yeah.
With half the women in this country. If you gave them the option to live like her or live their current life, they picking Corinne Stephens, aka Superhead.
Oh, that's right.
That's her name. Yeah, that was her. That was her. Her
I read her book.
her bedroom name. Yep. Yep. So think about that. That's chaotic, man.
Yeah.
That's chaotic. That's a destroyed mind.
Yeah.
But that mind been pushed for so long, and then she writing books,
Oh, yeah.
trying to rehash her celebrity,
People buying them too.
push that out, push that mindset out there. Women are gonna gravitate to that
Yep.
and mimic and do what she's doing.
Oh, so another thing she was saying, I'm sorry, she was saying that there's no such thing as a slut or a hoe or whatever. Like, there's no such thing as that because
Says the whore.
I didn't understand that.
Says the slut.
Says it, right?
I mean, that's something that a slut would say, right? There's no such thing as a whore. After she done, right? And what? And I'm not a hoe. I just fulfill people's needs. That's what they believe on Bissonnette.
God.
That's what they believe on Bissonnette. I'm not a whore. I'm a streetwalker. I'm a working girl. Not a whore. I'm a working girl. That's what Amber Rose believes. Slut shaming.
Right.
right?
That's
Because that's what the horror. That's what that whore's mind is about. Not owning up.
right.
Deceptiveness. It says she's speaking. Her lips is like honeycomb. Her words drop like smooth butter. I'm not a hoe. I love you.
Yeah. She
Just loved the last guy 5 minutes ago.
Exactly.
I was born in the 50s, and I remember the shift, and I was very young, okay? But I remember when the birth control pill came out. I remember when sisters were burning their bras, and all that.
Free
But
breast
I was
movement.
raised, pretty sequestered from a lot of that,
I like that word.
But when you leave the house, you're entering the world.
Yep.
And so your mom can tell you all kinds of righteous things
Yep.
until you step out that door.
Yep.
And so I saw the shift. I bought it. Hey, I wore an armband for Charles Manson, okay?
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't even know who he was at the time, but
Right.
I was all for him.
Right.
But
Damn.
yeah, there was the riots going on, feminism, all of that started coming into play.
Yep.
Isley guys, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with.
Love the one you with. Yep.
That is a song.
Free love.
So that's what I came through. Okay, and that's what I bought into also. Okay, because your mind is young and it's still trying to process information.
Yeah.
So your parents don't know anything because there was a generation gap, So they couldn't tell me nothing after a while, And you buy into all that mess, thinking that it's normal. As long as I could put on my Catholic school uniform and I could pull it off. Okay.
Yep. The cover up.
Yeah, covered up, And so as I became, a Christian, and as I came into the truth, and I look back and I'm like, I can see the lines all the way through. When I changed, when the country changed, and started putting all that mess out.
Yeah.
And so now it's not different, it's nothing new under the sun, okay? But it's just coming right back, except worse.
Yeah. It's less. It's in subtly. Now they just smack you in the face.
Right.
Bam.
Right.
Monkeypox. Cause of monkeypox.
Right.
Homosexuality.
Right. In your
Reese,
face.
you remember that's what I was seeing the other day, kind of like, there's so many things that's so subliminal.
Yeah.
And if you don't have anything in there to kind of know that it's wrong,
Yeah.
you just subliminally see. I keep seeing the number 9, and all of a sudden I'm writing the number 9. Why am I writing the number 9?
Yeah.
And if you don't have the wisdom, you'll automatically just think when people say, why is 9 your favorite number? You're like, I don't know.
Yep.
So until you're called on it,
Yep.
until you
Subliminal.
called on it, that's when you know it, because your life will definitely write a whole script of what it is that society has brainwashed us and programmed us to think and believe. And if we don't have people who are wise to be able to call us on it, and stand firm on it with the scripture, then you'll just be in total chaos and, confusion.
Yeah.
Because you think
Yeah.
that's the right thing. You don't know.
Yeah. You gotta have the filter. The discipline of wisdom. The filter. Set the scourges. We went over yesterday. Setting the scourges in your mind. And building that hedge around your mind to not look at everything for face value. That's how you get duped. Remember, America, this is Babylon. It's confusion. They're the media master manipulators. They know how to deep fake. Like they put it on TV now. These deep fakes. How they can deep fake a video. How they can deep fake a photo, and it'll make anything look real.
Yeah.
They could put you in a video right now. You would be across. They had you in a video in Africa, and you sitting right here in this classroom. And it's like, how Shabala get to Africa? They have a lion running behind you, and it's so real.
Yeah.
But they can take a bunch of different photos and make it into a video with your face, and all they need is like 2 words of your voice. You watching it in all the spy movies where they walk up to the guy and they like, I'm here to deliver your pizza, Mr. Such and Such, and he's like, that's not my pizza. Da, 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 da. He recorded him, then they use that to break into a vault.
Yep.
Because they got his voice. They needed him to say 1 word, pizza.
Oh, man.
Right? And they got his vocal tones. They got his facial image. They know how to use all these things to fake whatever they want to fake, right? It's the grand deception of just whatever they want to fake, they can fake it. They can GMO anything,
Yeah, that's true.
right? We got to be strategic enough to understand that it is fake. And now, and the point is, don't be dismayed at the signs, right? Don't be dismayed at what the heathen are being dismayed at. Keep your head down and do your own work, and that's the point. We know that it's fake. We know that it's gonna. The ones that get caught up, they get caught up in trying to search out the fakeness.
Right.
You get too much embedded in forgetting that it's fake and that you got things to do on this side. You get caught up in, I know it's fake, but let me expose it.
Right.
No, you'll expose it by just doing your work over here.
Yeah.
You see that? Your work will expose this work. But we forget that and get caught up, and that's how some of us get pulled away.
Right.
You get pulled away because you forget there's still work to do on this side, on your side. You know, so we got to remember, what times are we in? We're in the times of the deep fake. They will fake anything and tell you like, I was watching a video of the shooting in Buffalo. And they were saying that they come out, somebody always comes out and says every shooting is fake anyway. False flags and crisis actors, and they find some way to show like, oh, he had an earpiece in and they were telling him what to say, and he was in the last mass shooting, and he had this shirt on that don't mean, and it's hard to decipher what's real and what's not. But what do? Know? I know that there's guns on the street, people are getting shot.
Yeah.
Right? So keep your head on a swivel. You never know when the next fake or real mass shooting is gonna happen. Just try to make sure you ain't caught up out there. That's it. Right. But if you trying to get caught up and trying to uncover the conspiracy, good luck. Good luck, because there's gonna be another mass shooting. And there was one in Chicago. Yesterday, there was one. Yeah, it was yesterday. The day before, they shot like 3 people, killed 2, injured 10. Some mass shooting. They're always going to be happening, right? Just the mass shootings, just the conspiracies, right? But there's some things they can't get around. You ask yourself this: why are they telling you about UFOs all of a sudden?
Right. 400.
Yep.
Why are they doing that? Why do they hide it and then now all of a sudden they want to tell you about it? Because they know what's about to happen, but we got to try to get people's minds prepared to do the opposite of what the Bible says.
Right.
I'm like,
Please
come.
Bible shot.
They want you to get guns loaded up and go shoot in the face the Space Force. That's what they want. They want you to get on their side to go fight the Most High and the angels. Me, I'm like, just take me with you, right? Just please take me. Come on down. Do what you got to do and just take me, right? That's what I want. But they don't want you to do that. They want you to fight.
Right.
They want you to fight. So yeah, they want you to protect this wickedness. So you got to see. You always got to try to figure why are they doing this all of a sudden? You know what I mean?
And they're heavy at it too.
Yeah, I mean, they had a whole Pentagon meeting, and that was just one. Then they got closed door meeting, that the stuff they don't want to expose to the public. They're gonna have all those fighter pilots that saw the flying objects sit down, debriefed, go through their story. They had 144 UFO sightings, and they could only explain one. But why all of a sudden now you want to bring that out? What's the agenda? Well, because your salvation is nearer than you believe, but they know. They know your salvation is near. They see the economy crashing. They see the inflation. They see the food shortages. They see all the things that the scriptures say. Famine, pestilence, war. Bro, Finland is about to join the damn NATO. You know what's about to happen?
Russia.
Finland borders Russia, if y'all didn't know that. They've been beefing. You know what's about to happen? When they put them guns on that border of Finland. Get your affairs in order. Mic drop.
Wow.
That was my mic drop.
Yeah.
I didn't even plan that. That was my mic drop. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Baruch Shai.
Baruch Shai.
Shemai.
Shemai.
Aita.
Aita.
Shalach.
Shalach.
Maya Ka'ala.
Maya Ka'ala.
Wa.
Wa.
Ha. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
La.
La.
Shemar'al.
Shemar'al.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Chazak.
Chazak.
Magan.
Magan.
Samak.
Samat.
Yasher Allah.
Yasher Allah.
Baruch Shai.
Baruch Shai.
Shalach.
Shalach.
Much wisdom.
Much wisdom.
Knowledge and understanding.
Knowledge and understanding.
Patience. Faith.
Patience, faith.
Brotherhood.
Brotherhood.
Charity.
Charity.
Shalach.
Shalach.
Much spiritual power.
Much spiritual power.
Salakia.
Salakia.
Of our sins.
Of our sins.
Baruch Shai.
Baruch Shai.
Shalach.
Shalach.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Aita.
Aita.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
The water.
The water.
Yad.
Yad.
Aman.
Amen. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please listen to us now, right now. Send Michael and the righteous angels to watch over, bless, heal, protect, and make strong the people of Yasharallah. Also send unto us much wisdom, much knowledge, much understanding, much patience, much faith, much brotherhood, and much love, spiritual power, and forgive us, and forgive all of our sins. Yahweh Shai, come quickly, for in thee is our hope, always and forever. Amen.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh. Nathana Nawa.
Nathana Nawa.
Hathawara.
Hatawara. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the law.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh. Nathana Nawa.
Nathana Nawa.
A war.
A war.
Lara.
Lara. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the light to see.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh. Nathana Nawa.
Nathana Nawa.
Ayal.
Ayal.
Kwara.
Korah.
La Kwara.
La Korah.
Ha'ain.
Ha'ain. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the ram's horn to call the people.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh. Nathana
Nathana Nawa.
Shaman.
Shaman.
Zayath.
Zayath.
Lamashath.
Lamashath.
Yasharallah.
Yasharallah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel.
To Psalms 92. It is a good thing.
It is a good thing
Give thanks unto Yahweh.
to give thanks unto
To
Yahweh,
sing praises unto thy name.
to sing praise unto thy name,
Almost high.
Almost high.
Show forth thy loving kindness in the morning.
show forth thy loving kindness in the morning,
And thy faithfulness every night.
and thy faithfulness every night,
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
upon an instrument of 10
And
strings,
upon the psaltery.
and upon the psaltery,
And upon the harp with a solemn sound.
upon the harp with a solemn sound.
For thou, O Yahweh,
For thou, O Yahweh,
hast made me glad through thy work.
hast made me glad through thy works.
I will triumph in the works of thy hand.
I will triumph in the works of thy
O
hands.
Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
how great are thy works.
how great are thy works,
And thy thoughts are very deep.
and thy thoughts are very deep.
A brutish man knoweth not.
A brutish man knoweth not,
Neither do a fool understand this.
neither do a fool understand
The
this.
wicked spring as the grass.
When the wicked spring as the grass,
When all the workers of iniquity do flourish.
when all the works of iniquity do
Is
flourish,
that they shall be destroyed forever.
is that they shall be destroyed forever.
But thou, Yahweh,
But thou,
art
Yahweh,
most high forevermore.
art most high forevermore.
For lo, thine enemy.
For lo, thy
O
enemies,
Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
lo, thine enemy shall perish.
for lo, thy enemies shall perish.
All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered.
All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered.
But my horn,
But my horn
shalt thou exalt,
shalt thou exalt,
like the horn of a unicorn.
like the horn of a
I
unicorn.
shall be anointed with fresh oil.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
My eye also shall see.
My eye also shall see.
My desire of my enemies.
My desire of my
My
enemies.
ears shall hear.
My ears shall
My
hear.
desire of the wicked.
My desire of the
That
wicked.
rise up against me.
That rise up against
The
me.
righteous shall flourish like the palm tree.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm
He
trees.
shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon.
He shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon.
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh Shai
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh
shall
Shai
flourish in the courts of the Most High.
shall flourish in the courts of the Most
They
High.
shall still bring forth fruit fruit in old age.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old
They
age.
shall be fat and flourish.
They shall be fat and
To
flourish.
show that Yahweh is upright.
To show that Yahweh is upright.
He is our rock.
He is our rock.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Psalms 133. Shayar.
Shayar.
Hamalawaf.
Hamalawaf.
Naduad.
Naduad.
Hana.
Hana.
Matuad.
Matuad.
Wama.
Wama.
Na'ayam.
Na'ayam.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Akim.
Akim.
Gum.
Gum.
Yachad.
Yachad.
Hashaman.
Hashaman.
Hatuab.
Hatuab.
Ayel.
Ayel.
Araash.
Araash.
Yarad.
Yarad.
Ayel.
Ayel.
Hazakwan.
Hazakwan.
Zakwan.
Zakwan.
Aharon.
Aharon.
Shayarad.
Shayarad.
Alpayah.
Alpayah.
Madawathiwa.
Madawathiwa.
Katal.
Katal.
Haram1.
Haram1.
Shayarad.
Shayarad.
Al.
Al.
Hararia.
Hararia.
Tazayawan.
Tazayawan.
Chaya.
Chaya.
Sham.
Sham.
Tazawa.
Tazawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Af. Habaraka.
Habaraka.
Kayam.
Kayam.
Aid.
Aid.
Ha'aiwalam.
Ha'aiwalam.
Aman.
Amen. Psalm chapter 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Most High commanded the blessing, even life forevermore.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Babakashai.
Babakashai.
Shemai.
Shabbat.
Aitah.
Aitah.
Hear our prayers.
Hear our prayers.
We ask Yahweh.
We ask Yahweh.
That you continue.
That you continue.
To guide us.
To guide us.
To watch over us.
To watch over us.
Remove us from evil.
Remove us from evil.
Watch over our children.
Watch over our children.
Watch over our wives.
Watch over our wives.
Watch over our families.
Watch over our families
that are doing this work.
That are doing this work.
We thank you.
We thank you
for another Shabbat.
For another Shabbat.
We thank you.
We thank you
for the shortened days.
For the shortened days.
And not delivering us.
And now delivering us.
And not delivering us.
And not delivering us
to this wicked kingdom.
To this wicked kingdom.
We ask
that
you continue
giving
us the strength to fight,
giving us the strength to fight,
the strength to endure,
the strength to endure,
the strength to be consistent,
the strength to be consistent,
the strength of diligence,
the strength of diligence
in your word,
in your word.
Bahashem Yahushai,
Bahashem Yahushai,
the water,
from
Yad,
from Yad, Amen.
Circle up. Be seated. Call it.
Man of Israel, Almighty, Barak.
Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Barakatah.
Kum Yisrael.
Kum Yisrael.
Kum Yisrael.
Kum Yisrael.
Kum Yisrael.
Kum Yisrael. Yadi Matah. Turn and face the sisters. Hey, real quick, just so everybody knows, we got the summit on July 8th in, I believe, North Carolina. We're going to go from Virginia to North Carolina. So it's the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So whoever's trying to roll, let's make it happen. Request your days or whatever you got to do, but that's where we'll be. Go Summit, right? Men, women, children. It ain't just men. Men's is men, women, and children. All right? So anybody that wants to roll, just let me know. We'll set it up, rides, all that stuff. Call it.
Slewing out the desires of Zion, man of Israel, Almighty, Barak.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Yeah, Matah. I messed that up. Hands down. Let's say shalom to everybody online.
Shalom.
We'll see y'all Wednesday.
Yeah, make sure you include me somewhere now. I need to ride with somebody.
Chilling up in the kingdom, chilling with Yahweh Shai and all the